This car here is potentially the rustiest Laurel in the world. But by the end of the week, I'm hoping to get it back on the floor, fully finished, fully welded, get it to the paint shop because that is where it's headed next. If you've been watching the videos, you'll know that this car has had a ton of work. Now, it hasn't had a real video dedicated to it. It's just been in the background. But let me go through what has actually happened to this car. This C32 Laurel actually came in for trailing arm repairs, which are here and over the other side. It needed chassis rails doing, which we have done on one side. I had to repair the sump because it had been leaking where it had been hit on the ground. And that was roughly about it. But let me show you what it has had. A full rear valance, a spare wheel delete, rear pockets, rear quarters, inner arch repairs, chassis rail repair, inner arch repair, end of sill repair, arch repair, rolled arches, arch repair, full sill repair, inner arch repair, inner arch repair, inner arch repair, chassis rail, inner arch repair, inner arch repair, inner arch repair, inner arch repair. You get the gist. This has been a task. And that is genuinely not the end of it. And hopefully by the end of the week, this car will be rolling and driving. But until then, I need to do a ton of work. Very time consuming stuff. Still a lot of repairs to be done. And let's get cracking. Things this car still needs. Repairs on the sill in here. Both sides. We need to finish welding up the sill all the way along here. We also need to repair this rear trailing arm area. We gotta go this repair here. The bottom of the chassis rail, trailing arm, bracket support thing, just here. This arch here needs finishing off, that needs rolling, putting a solid bar inside of it. They also need to reinstall the subframe, which is here, install all the new CV boots, install all the new bushes, give it a lick of paint, raise the engine, get all our brake lines done, fuel lines done, tank drop, fuel, everything. This car needs a ton of work still. And that is all we'll be doing this week, is getting this car done. So, first off is to start welding the majority of the chassis rail and getting it finished up so it looks just like this one. Let's go. And then we have 1.5 rails done. So obviously that's all welded up now. I still got to finish this bit off, but that could be done at a later date. This is sort of where I'm at the minute. I really want to raise this engine before I carry on. As you can see, the sump is, well, it's in line with the chassis rail. That's why it's been smashed. So I'm gonna get some shim up underneath the engine mounts, lift it up just enough so the sump is above the subframe by at least 10-15 mil. So yeah, let's go do that. Right, so subframe to sump ratio right now, as you can see, they're basically in line. Got the wood propped underneath. I'm gonna lift the engine up, get the shims underneath it, and show you the difference afterwards. And there, above the subframe, so we should be absolutely clear of anything. There's the little shims above the engine mounts, got 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. That is because you still get full contact of the nut. If you put any more shims in there, you're only using half the nut. So 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, we're good. Now, I have a box of bits for this car from Hell, and I think you're gonna like them. Here we have a ton of fancy bits from Hell. Now, Hell have always supported me, and you know, we're putting all of their stuff into this car, and we have bright pink brake lines, right? These brake lines are the full length of the car because we're obviously getting rid of our front to rear brake pipe and it's going inside the car. These are all custom one-off brake lines for the Laurel itself. Nice little T-piece in there, all the nice sleeves and stuff. Any color you can get, but we decided to go for pink on this one. So we've got those. These are actually fuel lines, and these are their new bulkhead fittings. It says Hell Performance on there. Really, really nice stuff. To be honest, too nice for this car, if I'm quite frank with you. That being said, this car is going to be quite nice once it's finished, but for now,
you know, this stuff is really, really cool. Now, for the rest of the pipe, it's all fuel line. So we're gonna run all the fuel line inside the car and obviously into the engine bay. These three here are for the engine bay. These ones here are for the bulkhead here, back to the fuel tank. And these ones are all the AM fitted fuel lines for inside the car. So these are gonna be underneath the carpet, and I opted to have the nice shiny ones on the inside, and then under the car just have these nice sleek black ones, because in the engine bay, everything is black. I think they'd stick out like a sore thumb. I mean, they're gonna stick out like a sore thumb because it's proper dusty in here, but yeah, they're gonna come off the rail into our filter, etc., and it's all gonna be super, super nice. And as you can see, they do all sorts of pipes, so they can actually supply custom length brake lines, fuel lines, power steering lines, everything pretty much, pipes, etc. I use them in like every one of my cars, because all of my cars, I can't get any like brake lines or replacement stuff, so I just go straight to Hal, give them the measurements, tell them exactly what I need, send them pictures. I can even send them the old brake lines and they'll sort it out for me, and they literally make all of these in-house with all their crazy machines, and yeah, they're really, really nice stuff. This is the first set of fuel lines I've had from them, so I'm excited to try them out. I've been told I really need to get some proper AN lines before I scratch them to high heaven. AN spanners, that is, not AN lines, but yeah, thank you, Hal. Always sorting me out, and excited to put all this on the car. So that is the job now. Let's get these fuel lines in the engine bay. This one goes right here. I gave them a little bit extra wiggle room all the way around on my measurements, so they are slightly longer than they need to be, but they should flow all nicely. Got these nice little like AN style fittings, but they have obviously Jubilee clips on them. Pretty fancy. It's gonna be the nicest thing on the car, I'll be honest. Braided lines on there, onto the filter, and then they go obviously down there. I'll be putting the bulkhead fitting just underneath that steering column there, but obviously we have the lines here. Now they look quite nice if they were like that, and they've actually supplied some nice fittings, or joiners so to speak, or fuel line separators. I'm gonna stick one there, and I'm gonna obviously use all these on the inside as well. So we've got a couple of these. I'm gonna wanna put at least one on here, maybe two. We'll see how many I've got left. If not, I'll have to order some more, but yeah, we're gonna tie those up there nicely. Nice. Might get another one there, but obviously they're quite firm there with this done up there. I don't really need it. And if you look from here, it looks really good. I'm impressed with that. What I did not remember is I obviously wanted the black in the engine bay for basically keeping it discreet and OEM, and one of the bulkhead fittings for the front brake line that goes up to basically the master cylinder is pink. So that's on me. I might just put some heat shrink over that before I put it in there, because otherwise we're gonna have one bright pink line. Less than ideal. And these are gonna go something like this on the bulkhead, which is obviously above the chassis rail by a long shot. So yeah, I'll need to get that in there, but obviously I want to paint the hole underneath with underseal, so I don't want to put that in yet, but I maybe drill the hole at a later stage. But yeah, gonna get the rest of it prepped before I put these on for good. Obviously I can take these off in the engine bay, but the stuff on the rest of the car needs to be cleaned up. And one of the things that definitely needs to be cleaned up is all the loose dirt and material of old underseal and remnants of stuff. Everything is going to get resealed, all the seams are going to get sealed up, everything's going to be neutralized, and I want to make sure all of the loose stuff is, you know, off, and we're not just putting underseal straight over the loose stuff. So yeah, I'm going to spend a couple hours doing that, I think. Put my headphones in, get the knot wheel out, and just, you know, get all the loose crap over the top off. And yeah, I'm just not looking forward to this, I can't be lying. Oh, also, before I finish off in this segment,
these bulkhead fittings are going to go on here, above the chassis, all the way up and into the fuel tank here. So I'm going to take the fuel tank down, and basically we're putting the end of the lines on the fuel sender. It's already got a hard line hanging off the end of the tank, and the soft pipe that was on it is no good, which is why we're changing it all. And also all the stuff along there, we might as well refresh a lot. If this car's getting a restoration, might as well do it once, do it properly. So yeah, I'm gonna drop the tank. Let's just hope that we don't break anything serious, because it's all a bit crusty. Wish me luck. Ugh. Ugh. Alright, I'm dreading this. I'm going home. Right, next day, got the majority of all the crap off the bottom of this car, and I'll show you why I've gone to this effort to get it done. And if we don't do this, it would all be a waste of time. The chassis rails are pitted, like everywhere. All the inner arches are pitted. Pitting, 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 pitting. The list goes on. So all these little dark spots all over the underneath of this car have all been cleaned back. You see that? Pitting, pitting, pitting. The entire car is like this. Now, the ideal solution is to cut it all out and put fresh metal in, but what are you gonna do? Cut the whole rear end of the car off? You're not gonna do it. So yeah, I have to trim it all back, neutralize it, reprime it, reseal it, re-undercoat it, and that should be good. The reason this has all happened is because it's a Nissan, and number two, I think it's like stone chips and stuff, and then they spread, and then they start to pit, and then you just got to catch it before it gets like holy, basically, like the rest of the bits under here had. It's not fully finished underneath here. There's still more to do, but yeah, there's still a lot to do.
That's not wicked. I've just done it. The ice has literally gone black instantly.
Yeah. Right then, Wednesday is nearly over. As you can see, we're doing lots of little bits and bobs on the car, getting things finished up, and we've hit a little bit of a roadblock when it comes to this arch right here. Now, this arch was always the rotten one, was always destroyed. The passenger side was actually really, really good. So when we reinforced it underneath and welded the two skins together, it was all good, and we just cleaned it up, put the bar in, weld it up. But this side, we've gone to weld it up, and the whole inner skin, like all the way along, it's quite hard to see on camera, but it's majorly pitted on this back edge here. So we need to make this plate or panel all the way along, because our donor panel, which is here, was the same, and it was all massively rusty on the inside. Now, these donor panels look good from the outside, but not too good on the inside. Luckily for us, this one was actually really nice. This has only had a little panel down here and the one in the door card, but all the rest of it was really good. But yeah, this one
not so good. When we was welding it the other day, there was like a little bit of rust. We tried to weld it and it was just blowing through all the way along, and it was welding really badly. We know why. It was because it was all rusty on the backside here. It's already had this section of the arch put in here, but yeah, the rest of it we need to make because we didn't have it, and because it's such a awkward shape with this lip in the arch, it's not been that easy at all. So that's a job for tomorrow. Get it in the beater roller. Hopefully we can make a panel that fits it, but in the meantime I'll just be getting it prepared to go back together. Obviously you see I had the subframe out, all painted with the Gravitex, poly bushes in. I've had the arms apart, burnt all the bushes out. I've just got to get this inner sleeve taken out of there. Just did that one, got that all cleaned up. Got this filler neck all cleaned up and primed. I was expecting that to, you know, gain a little bit of a hole as I ground it down, but actually I lent on it and it seems pretty solid. So use the Genelite on that. Really good stuff, really, really good stuff. Usually when a company sends you stuff, you usually think, oh, they're obliged to say that it's a good product. This is a good product. I wouldn't lie. There's no point in me lying about some rust convert stuff, but this stuff is really, really good. And we put it on like surface rust, sprayed it on, it comes out like jelly, and it like hardens and like converts the metal back to rust, metal from rust. And then you can just weld to it, and it welds quite nicely once you've welded it. It's actually like really, really good stuff. So I'm very, very impressed with this stuff in the spray can. Gonna probably use it on the arms, which as you can see, put a reinforcement pad after that little hole in the arm had formed. So yeah, that's all reinforced and stuff. I'm now about to spend some more time underneath it while wheeling another section before I go home again. Just gonna get more of like this arch all back into, you know, this sort of state basically, and start moving my way forward along here. Also, Zach's done this bit today, so he's added this bottom section here, this whole mount here for the subframe bracket that goes on there. It's really nicely done. It's all made out of 1.2 or 1.5 mil, so this corner of the car is absolutely solid. I think we've got to do the subframe mount on this side. As you can see, it's all like pitted and horrible on this back edge here, so that's next. Obviously got all the CB boots down there as well. There was tiny little gaps in the half moon shape here, and that's because, well, the boots are like reproduction, so I mean like a couple of mils, so I've put a bit of sealer all the way around there so it doesn't get any dirt or grease comes out of these little gaps here. I think we're going to struggle to find genuine boots for this vehicle here, but yeah, this should be all good. Yeah, round 2 on underseal removal. Let's go. A lot more done last night, pretty much. The whole back end from like this point forward, or backwards should I say, is all bare metals. So today, I'm going to be painting on the neutralizer, primer in it, sealing the back end. Zach's going to be doing some more welding on these jacket points up here. Just trying to get it done. And yeah, this video has got to be edited tonight. So let's see how much we get done on this lovely Thursday. Try not to hit our head on this prop shaft all day, shall we? Look at all the little black spots. All the little black spots are like where the neutralizer's doing its job. So yeah, it's worth the time. It looks worse now, but it's just made all the dark bits, which have like, I don't know, moisture or whatever in it, go dark. Well worth it. Well worth it. That brings us to a Thursday evening. Long day of just graft today, but new brake lines made for the lower control arms on the rear. We have almost a fully primered underside. Look at that. Everything is like thickly good primer. I pretty much brushed all of this on Just wanted a nice, good coat of the good stuff. Yeah, done all the chassis rails all the way along, even our little modified floor pan repair. Brake lines in there from hell, they're really nice. Had a nightmare getting this brake fitting out because it was like rusted in there, so that wasn't good. I've obviously finished the back end of the chassis rail, so that's done. Zach's actually put a whole new arch in this today. From like here to here, all the way around. Reinforced the lower. Just got to finish the inside skin now, which is why this is not all primed up. But yeah, we handmade that panel in the bead roll. And I'll put some pictures in here. I'll put some pictures of it when it was in bare metal, and it looks OEM, and I'm really, really chuffed with it. But yeah, the whole underneath now is primed, mostly. Just got to obviously do these little repairs on the floor pan edge here, like that there. Same again this side, just grot. I mean, this side's not that bad, but you know, while we're there, you know, and yeah, that's where we're at basically. As you can probably imagine, it's a nightmare to try and film all of this. Just so much time and effort going into the bottom of this car just to get it to this point here. So yeah, that is where we're at. It's a Thursday evening. I'm gonna go home and edit this now. Hope you enjoyed this video. Obviously, there's not really a lot of doing in this video. Oh, I also cut the exhaust mount hole just here for a raised exhaust. That's gonna happen. But yeah, this last couple of weeks has been really hard to film what's been going on in the workshop, because obviously it's all grinding, all welding. It's a mess. So yeah, hopefully we can do some more exciting things in the near future, and we won't have to just film rusty cars all the time, because I know people say they like to see the progress, but it's also filming it and doing it at the same time. It's not that easy to do. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy this one. Have a good weekend. See you later. Bye. Also, shout out to Dean, who's made me the background music in the latest couple of videos. Yeah, he made me a couple of tracks to put behind the back of the videos, so copyright free and all that. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. You can find his link in the description below. So thank you very much, Dean.